Hello, welcome to the weekly Soulprint Pick Your Crystal Tarot reading. This is for February 20 to 26. So I have some lovely stones here. This one and this one, okay, are both labradorite. I'm almost positive. Now, labradorite is a really interesting crystal. It's sort of referred to as kind of it is a crystal that allows you to find your path, follow your destiny. It's referred to as the temple of the stars. That's kind of the energy of this. And of course, clear quartz, which is super, super powerful, brings you clarity, awareness, and it strengthens just your intuition, et cetera, et cetera. Very powerful stones. Now, because they're both labradorite on the ends, this one is going to be referred to as the blue labradorite, and this one is going to be referred to as the green labradorite. And of course, this will be, quartz, clear quartz crystal. Okay, so here we go. I have noticed lately that very often all three piles will tell or have a similar theme. And so I encourage you, if you might want to listen to more than one. You might want to listen to all three. It just seems to be a pattern that I'm recognizing lately. So I'll just leave that with you. Take a moment, look at these beautiful pendants, look at the crystals, and see which one perhaps resonates with you. See if I can do it to this one too. Sorry, I'm fiddling around with them here. I don't want to be doing that. Okay, there we go. So, blue labradorite, clear quartz, green labradorite. And let's get started. So again, week of February, 20 to 26. Here we go. Got the Hangman. You've got the Seven of Pentacles. You have the Ace of Pentacles and the Fool. Awesome. Awesome cards. This talks about perhaps facing or having faced a significant delay in trying to move forward. It could represent sort of a sacrifice that you have had to make, or an ongoing sacrifice that you have had to make in your life. It could represent an event or a series of events that have helped you to look at a situation differently with more clarity. But this is a really important card, the Hangman, because it is telling you that this time is coming to an end. You have gained the clarity. You have sacrificed and made those choices. You have handled the delays with trust and faith that things would move forward in a way that would be ultimately a blessing to you. The Seven of Pentacles follows, and that, of course, is a period of taking stock, looking at what you have. Perhaps you have been going through a kind of an early spring cleaning, perhaps, and purging yourself of that which doesn't serve to make room for more of that which does serve. The Seven of Pentacles is also about good news coming, good news coming financially, good news coming about your security. And with the Ace of Pentacles following, this is, really, it feels very much like the start of a successful venture, an encouragement to move forward, a new revenue stream, a new abundance, form of abundance coming into your life. And really, what the universe is saying to you with the Fool card is it's time to take that leap of faith. So, you started with going through a difficult period, but having faith that this would ultimately be okay for you. It would work out. You've got the Seven of Pentacles talking about assessing, purging, cleaning out, and possibly new news coming financially, good news coming or stabilizing. This is about, success, the beginnings of success. This is about a new pathway to abundance. And this is, and the Fool is literally saying, come on, it's time. It's time now. You've struggled, you've waited, you've assessed, you've determined. You can understand where the abundance is going to be coming from or where you're wanting it to come from. And now it's time to take that leap of faith. It is time to say, the waiting is over, the sacrificing is over, and now really I can almost start on my journey, on my new pathway. So lovely, lovely. And because of the pentacles in the center here, you really are being comforted and assured that what you need for your security, for your success, is in the cards for you. It is on its way. It is going to be resolved. It is going to be opened up. So this is awesome because this is really about just a new beginning and a fresh start and knowing that the time is coming for you to take that fresh start. Things are in place. It feels in some ways, this is just an example, but it feels almost like for those of you who might be looking at some sort of a new business adventure, although it could obviously be an adventure too, for sure. It feels as if this is sort of the energy. It's like you waited for the timing to be right. You waited for things to fall into place. You've done the legwork. You've done the paperwork. You've done the projections. You recognize that there are additional places that or areas where your service could be very attractive. And now it's time for you to go forward. It really is honestly just as simple as that. All right, so that is the news from the blue labradorite. Let's look at the super duper powerful clear quartz. And here we go. 5 of Wands. I know that's right in the sun, but trust me, it's a 5 of Wands. 3 of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and the Sun. Okay. So again, there has been this movement, this represents a period of time and a difficulty. Perhaps there was a lot of squabbling going on about a certain specific situation, or it just felt perhaps that your life had become very sort of stressful, had become unsettled. Perhaps you were getting static from your family, your friends, your coworkers. And to be honest and true, it kind of hurt your heart, okay? There is just a sense here that there was disappointment, there was sadness, and it was connected to this 5 of Wands. So it was definitely connected to this feeling of friction, anxiety, etc. So, a family fight makes you sad. Families separating over philosophical differences breaks your heart. A friendship where there is a real disagreement, painful. So it's that kind of energy. Now, the Queen of Swords is coming along, and she wants you to know that with some with some sort of no nonsense kind of energy, with some clarity, with perspective, you are going to be able to put these two cards in their rightful place. For some of you, that may mean having a kind of firm chit chat with somebody and saying, this is kind of how it's going to be, or this is what it looks like to me, whatever it is. But the Queen of Swords here is representing a clarity of thought, a understanding, an awareness, a coming together in a way that is like just no nonsense, calls it the way it is, shoots from the hip kind of energy, and puts the Five of Wands and the Three of Swords into perspective. And that is really super, super empowering for you. And because you are empowered and because you have been able to move past this adversity, these trials, here comes the sun. Literally, here comes the sun. There is happiness, there is success, there is peacefulness, there is love, there is a brilliant period. You are literally basking in the sun. There are blessings coming your way, maybe in part because you were able to persevere through this and you were able to find, through clear thinking, a resolution. You know, it's very possible that whatever these two first cards represent, it could have been very emotional. And at some point, you literally needed to pull back and look at things objectively with a clear head, and that allowed you to put this in perspective, which allows you to move away from this difficulty. And it sets you on course for a much happier, um, more successful, more enriched, more blessed period of time. Wonderful. Just wonderful. Alrighty, and let's look last at this beautiful green labradorite. I don't know if that glare is going to make it better or worse for you, but it has beautiful moss green and sort of a softer green and even some mid blue in it. It's really lovely, a lovely little crystal. Let's see if I can get it to stand up for you. There you go. All right, let's see what the green labradorite is bringing to you. You have the, oopsie, upside down, inside out, the Seven of Wands. You have the Nine of Swords, you have the Six of Swords, and you have the High Priestess. All righty. So, this is about going through a period of time, and I almost want to reverse these two cards. Sorry about that interruption. Okay, so as I was saying, I feel like I want to reverse these two cards. So, starting with the Nine of Swords, you are literally talking about anxiety, not sleeping well, being stressed, being anxious, being really worried. You've been feeling as if you are in a position or in a place where you literally have had to defend yourself, defend your actions, defend your reasoning, put things in perspective, get things sorted out. But it has been a struggle and it has been stressful. I almost want to say, you know what, it really, really has taken a bit of a toll on you. Um, there's a feeling of sort of just exhaustion. There's a feeling of, is this ever going to end? This is so tiring. I'm done. Okay. But you've got the Six of Swords here. And so that's telling us that you are now in the process, or very, very shortly will be in the process of being able to shift energy so that you are able to move forward to just literally, you know, calmer, clearer waters. This is about finding harmony. It's about finding peace. It's about literally finding the harmony and the peace after the stress and the strain, and being able to move forward into something that is far more peaceful and far more satisfying and abundant. and you followed you're done. Your final card is the High Priestess, and so the High Priestess is literally talking about that soul searching that perhaps you've had to do as a result of the Nine of Swords and the Seven of Wands. That understanding yourself, taking your thoughts, your beliefs, whatever it is, to a deeper level. And sometimes, in some way, it's about really understanding ourselves. It's about doing a deep dive on ourselves, what our secrets are, what we tell ourselves, what we don't tell ourselves, what we now know, what we have gained in wisdom, insight, and understanding because you have moved through this really difficult, stressful period. And the blessings that come from the High Priestess knowing, absolutely knowing your power and your strength, and understanding that you now have the wisdom, the integrity, the the strength to move forward through this difficult time and into a place of much more clarity, much more calmness, and much more empowering, really empowering. And so again, there is this feeling of kind of moving through difficult times, moving into much more serene space and place, and ending with the High Priestess, where there is absolutely that knowledge and wisdom about, kind of how you're going to go forward, what that looks like. So there we go. Thank you ever so much for being here today. I hope you have found the readings helpful, insightful, entertaining. And I look forward to seeing you right back here next week for your weekly Soulprint Pick Your Crystal reading. Until next week, be well. Bye-bye.